Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is the final layout. I was thinking if I wanted to try to squeeze two more out, but I really felt like with what I had left, I could really just do one final layout. The issue I had was one of the full sheets I was going to save in order to kind of squeeze out an extra was a cut apart, and I actually really wanted to use a lot of the cut aparts on this page, so I went ahead and cut it apart. So long story short, I now have just a bunch of scraps and I'm going to try to make it work. So this is one of the cut apart sheets. I really liked all of these little squares. I thought maybe I could have them running across the page in two areas and just fill up the rest of the page with the scraps I had left. But as you see, once I start adding my photo and thinking about layering, it looks a little bit too chaotic. It's a little too messy, and I just feel like there's too much going on. So I kind of have to redirect, and I end up going in a completely different direction. But at this point, I've already cut apart the cut apart. So I kind of put myself in a corner where I was like, okay, well, I've already cut this 12 by 12 up, so I'm just going to figure out what I have to use. So yeah, I play around a little bit with this layout. I was really trying to get the most out of this paper by piecing together a 12 by 12 with what I had. But especially once I started thinking about layering and adding more paper across all of these other papers, it was just too much. I started with this 4x6. I trimmed it down a little bit, hoping that that would help once I started layering, not covering up so much space or it being too busy. I knew I had a piece of this navy polka dot, so I definitely wanted to use that as my frame around the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that to size. I have a pretty good chunk of that peachy chevron paper, so I'm thinking that'll be a good size layer behind this mat. Other than that, I'm just really trying to use as much as possible on this page, because I know I'm realizing at this point it's going to be the last one. This is when I decide to completely change gears, and instead of using all of those scraps to piece together the background, I'm just going to take the largest chunk of my pattern paper and piece it onto just a plain white 12 by 12, because with everything I was wanting to kind of layer and cram on here, I really felt like I needed something a little bit more subtle so that all the layers and all of the stickers and embellishment I wanted to add wouldn't be too crazy, because I feel like even with the half white it's going to look like a lot. But it makes me feel a lot better about starting to pile up some stuff. So I went ahead and put my photo with the navy mount on top of that peachy area. I really like that. I definitely want to use this cut apart that says "Some Bunny Loves You." I think that's really cute. This whole page is going to be a lot of "I love you" sentiments, and a lot of what I have left on this page or in this collection pretty much. But I knew the one page I already had cut apart, that's most of these cut aparts to the left here, I was really trying to take advantage of. So that's definitely one piece I want to get used up. I'm thinking about having a frame and a tag coming off the top of that. Maybe some pieces coming out to the right. I really love this little journaling spot. It looks like a ticket. And just building with scraps and just kind of adding little bits here and there. I ends up changing quite a lot, but the biggest change was the one you just saw where I completely redesigned the background, and that kind of helped me keep going. With the "Some Bunny Loves You" piece, I decided to cut off the part that was tucked underneath this peachy layer to drag to the opposite side. That way that color would be on either side, and it kind of makes it look like a longer layer that runs behind the whole layout, which I like. It kind of makes it look like there's more paper than there actually is. So I like that. And now I'm just trying to figure out the things I'm adding up here with the star frame and the floral yellow tag. I want to kind of keep those elements around the other page, so you can kind of see where I have the scrap of that star paper to the lower right hand corner to balance the frame. You'll see me pull in little yellow elements like that ticket down there by the bunny. This is a multicolored page, so I'm not too worried about it, but I want to make sure the more bold patterns that kind of grab your attention don't look like they're standing out in a weird way. So I'm trying to make sure if I have something that's really bold like that navy star pattern, it's elsewhere on the page. So just going through all these cut aparts, going through my sticker sheet, trying to figure out which elements I'm definitely wanting to use up on here. I know I won't be using everything, but I'm trying to pick and choose the elements I'm for sure wanting to use up. So I definitely want to get this little "I love you" banner that's yellow used up. I popped that up on some foam, And this little lion head, I popped that up on some foam as well. So I'm thinking the lion will be opposite the bunny, just to kind of carry that animal theme across the page. I thought for a second I'd have it near the bunny, but I didn't like the competing elements, so I put it elsewhere. And I kind of like how it's coming together here, so I have a kind of a focal point in each area, with the bunny, the lion, and then this cluster up here at the top with the tags. So I decided to maybe add an extra tag to keep up the layers. I'm noticing that the journaling piece to the right has that kind of brick red gingham pattern, so I wanted to pull that up to the top area with that same pattern on that tag. And then there's a little banner, I don't know if I've added it yet, I think I have underneath the bunny piece that's also that red gingham, so that creates a visual triangle too. I thought about having a couple green elements in a couple areas, but for whatever reason that green was really throwing me. It's not something I really see much in this collection, so it's kind of looking off to me. So I ended up pulling off the green pieces and sticking to the more minty aqua. But yeah, I wanted something else up there by the tags just to beef it out a little bit. So I grabbed another big doily. I'm going to have that behind that area just to create a little bit more, as well as I had a scrap of a glassine bag I figured I'd tuck up there too, just to make that whole area a little bit more substantial. So now I'm trying to piece all of these loose elements. I'm trying to piece them together so there's not so many moving parts. So I'm trying to get the glassine bag, the doily, all those tags in the frame secure so it's one piece. And then I'll kind of attach it to the rest of the stuff once I get going. But I realize I need to go ahead and glue down this background so that it won't keep moving on me. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this stripe paper. And then I think I'll go ahead and start securing these layers too. I'm pretty happy with how it's sitting. I kind of think that's really the only area where it makes sense for it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this stuff down. The things I'm not quite sure about, I won't secure just yet, but I know for the most part all of this will get glued down, and I'm saving that half of the doily because I don't have 1,000 of those. I only have a couple of those, so I'm definitely trying to save those too. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and secure this. You'll see I'm not gutting anything. This is the last page. I'm trying to get everything used up, so no gutting, and I think I'm going to start trimming and securing some of the smaller elements, but everything I'm gluing down, I'm like, okay, I for sure like this. The star piece over here, I'm trimming into a banner just to give it a decorative edge, but again, I really like how that balances the frame that's at the top. And then once I get my journaling piece and the lion back down, you saw that I had a scrap of the lighter blue star print, and I'm also going to trim that into a banner too. So all of that kind of plays off of each other. I don't really have an idea for journaling or a title at this point. I know I want a title. I really feel like I don't need to journal on this one. It's just a really cute picture of Avery at my mom's house when she was babysitting for Becca. So I had to include it. So really it's just using up the product at this point. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to use for my title, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But now I'm just, again, looking through everything and seeing what I want to add, what needs to be balanced. I went missing at some point, and I know what I was doing at this point. I was watching the Johnny Depp trial on TV. So there was a lot of distraction going on while I was making this page because I was like hooked to the TV that was on in the background. But yeah, I'm back, and now we're trying to figure out this little lion cluster. I know I want it in the corner here, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. I liked that spacing. And now I'm trying to get a couple other smaller elements down. I know on the sticker sheet, I'm trying to think of anything else. There's still a ton of word stickers on the sticker sheet, so I know I'm going to want a lot of word stickers on this one. Oh yeah, I'm going to go in for the title now. So I got stuck on my title for quite a while. I wasn't sure what thicker I was going to use. I really didn't want to introduce black, but again, it's going to be on white, so I didn't want to use white. But then I remembered I'd brought in my Heidi epoxy alphas earlier in the month, And again, I thought this would be a really good page to pull in some more yellow, especially because it's going on white. It's a good chance to use that epoxy. And I couldn't think for the longest time what I wanted to say, because a lot of the letters on the sticker sheet, I didn't have enough of them to spell out the things I thought of first. But I have 2 packs of these. I was just not wanting to have to open the second pack so soon into using them. So I kind of just Googled inspiration for baby layout titles, and one of the things that came up was Precious Moments. And I only had one S, but I figured I could do Precious Moment, like singular, because it's only one picture. And that actually used a lot of the letters that I was able to get that title out. So I was very, very happy that I didn't have to open my second set of those alphabets to get that title on. But I really like that adds more yellow. I just love the way the epoxy looks, that shiny kind of texture. It just makes me happy. And now that I got my title down, I'm kind of revisiting some other things for finishing touches. There's 2 hearts left on the sticker sheet, so I popped those both up on some foam and added those. I already added a couple word stickers with the My Sunshine on that journaling spot, but you'll see I really go in with some word stickers. I really, really wanted to use this little, it's like I don't even know what you call that. Like, it's not a rattle, but it's one of those like teething rings, I guess you'd call it, on a sticker sheet, and it has a little like bear head on it. And if you look in the picture, Avery's actually holding one of those toys. So I really wanted to take the opportunity to get that used up on this page. But I was really having a hard time where to put it. But I did just layer the little I love you word sticker on top of it with some foam, just so it had like a little cluster. And it moves around a lot, but I know I want to get it on this layout because it's literally in the picture. So it moves around quite a bit. I think I'll have it at the top here for a while, and once I kind of add more up there, it kind of starts to look busy, so I move it again. But this is just the process sometimes. Things have to move around a bit until you figure out how you like it. I think this probably was one of the most difficult pages this month, just because I thought I had more paper scraps than I did once I got to this final layout, because usually by the end I have so many paper scraps, it's really fun to do layering and stuff. But with this particular collection, I was left with like a ton of cut aparts and not so much like paper layers, so it was a different way to have to work for that final page. And now I think I'm pretty done with all the cut aparts. I'm not really wanting to add any more layers, but I am trying to finish out with embellishments, so you can see that sticker sheet. I'm really trying to get as much as I can used up on here, so I go in with several word stickers in quite a few areas, a couple of the floral stickers. I get that multicolored banner used up with the lion cluster, which I think is super cute. I kind of end up doing the diagonal thing again. The areas that look kind of too blank to me, I'm wanting to keep this upper right hand corner pretty blank with the white, because there is so much going on everywhere else, but I still want to use up these word stickers, so I'm just strategically clustering them on the diagonals, so there is a lot going on, but it's condensed in specific areas, so hopefully it doesn't look too crazy. I really wanted to get these chipboard flowers used up too, but after I did all the sticker flowers and kind of all the word stickers, I was like, it's gonna just look like too much. It was already kind of dancing on the line of too much, so I kind of pulled back a little bit and decided not to use those. But once I did try to put that flower next to the title, it did bother me having that open area, so that's why I decided to use that little brown bear there instead. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the end of the month where I'll do my layout share. I'll show you guys what I have left over. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.